Hello and welcome back to Chicken for Breakfast, the podcast where we have all the answers to one very simple question: what's cooking? Today's episode is really weird. It feels very weird because it is currently 8:56 p.m. I'm in here in the studio at 9 o'clock at night. I actually work here at OMS, and there are not many students here right now, so I'm taking this opportunity to make some content, because why not? So, thank you for tuning in. Alright, so one thing that we need to talk about is all the silly, wacky TikTok trends that you can make out of one filter. That's what I want to talk about today. And I also want to talk about some music styles, some music ideas, and ultimately just what's cooking. So I appreciate all of you. Before we begin, I do want to make the announcement that we do have a new merch line coming out here very soon. If you would like to vote on your favorite, all of our merch is exclusively on our Facebook page. So go to Facebook, look up Chicken for Breakfast Podcast. We should have a page. We are doing merch exclusively on that page. So if you are interested, go check it out. We have a poll going, I believe. We are seeing which one. We have two different designs. We're seeing which one you guys would like more. So pop on over there. Go let me know. Let us know which one you like the best. So what's cooking? With me, I have been, pretty good. Hasn't been super long since the last episode either. And so I have not gotten a chance to watch Uncharted, but that is my goal for this weekend. We are going to do it. I did visit Cedar Point for the first time, which was very fun. I visited Cedar Point. I was with a friend of mine, and we were going to go to the fair up here. And we were at the fair, and then it was like, let's just go to Cedar Point, because why not? It was a really fun, spontaneous trip, and it was actually really fun. It wasn't busy. It was busy, but it wasn't super busy for a Friday night, which was kind of weird. Like, I rode all of the really good rides, and I didn't wait even 40 minutes for most of them. I did not wait more than 45 minutes for anything. It was nuts. I feel like I'm extremely lucky. I got to experience the entire park, basically, and ultimately, it was just really fun. So, shout out to that one friend. You're pretty cool. Thanks for taking me, giving me that opportunity. It was also a great time to discuss life, not only mine, but his as well, and catch up and talk about what was cooking. And it was really nice. It was a very helpful dose of friendship, a very helpful dose of peace, happiness, everything else. And it was very good. And I'm excited to see some friends and family this weekend as well. So hopefully it's a good weekend as well. Let's hop into TikTok. So there have been a lot of TikTok filters created, and there are so many, right? But there's a couple of TikTok trends that we need to address, because one of them is just really silly. The other one is it's the same filter, but it's they film and then they put a caption on it, and I'll go over what I mean. So there's a TikTok trend where you and someone else, you have water in your mouth, and you have a tortilla, and the only objective is to smack each other in the face with a tortilla. I'm gonna put a video right here. Yeah, you literally smack each other in the face, and you spit out, and try not to spit out the water. Whoever spits out the water first loses. Now, this is a cool trend. I haven't done it. I'd like to do it. Maybe we do it with someone. I don't know. But I don't understand. I've seen some pretty bad TikToks. I've made a lot of really bad TikToks. But why smack each other in the face with tortillas? Is that funny? Is it funny because it's why is it funny? Think about humor. Why is it funny? I don't know. It is really funny to watch some of them. It is. It's actually a really funny trend that I do want to do. I'm kind of just dissing it because I haven't had the opportunity to do it. Yeah, so there's a TikTok trend where you slap each other in the face with tortillas, and that's a wrap. And the other one I was talking about is there's a lot of filters that like you tap the screen and it cuts through different emojis, or it cuts through different letters, or it cuts through different, what's the other one? There's numbers, there's letters, emojis. Yeah, that's really it. So there's that. And what comes with that is like someone being like, oh, with this sound, whatever emoji it lands on describes you. Right? That's cool. That's a cool thing. But then someone will film it and they'll change the caption after they've already filmed it to be like, well, whatever it lands on describes your ex, or whatever it lands on describes how you're feeling, or whatever. It's like, it's a trend that like trends wavingly, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like a consistent trend. So I don't know. It's all up for interpretation, and maybe it's like that for most filters anymore, and I haven't seen it. A really cool tap one though is cupcake. So you tap the screen and you try to get a cup, and then you try to get a piece of cake, and then you try to get a cupcake. That's a big one, and I haven't even tried it, you know? But it's supposed to be really fun. It's supposed to be like, I've seen it where they switch off, you got two people switching, and you try to get cupcake consistently in a row, consecutively is the word. So that's fun. There's also a filter on TikTok. It's kind of wild to think about how it does it, but there's an AI green screen filter. So essentially, you type in words or a phrase or anything, and it'll generate an image, an AI image of that. And I actually did use that one. It is pretty cool. I think I've already talked about this now that I mentioned it. Did I talk about it on the last episode? I think I did. It's still trending. It's still trending. So TikTok has been very new, very trendy recently. There's a lot of sounds going on. They finally cut back on the Stranger Things TikToks and the whole Chrissy wake up movement. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, that's totally okay.
Chrissy, wake up! I don't like this!
It's a Stranger Things thing, and I've seen Stranger Things. A lot of jokes this episode, a lot of jokes. So let's move into our song Sona. So, you probably guessed it, Nick D released a new song. It's called Blip, and it is a little bit different actually. It's a little different than most of his other songs. It's more rappy, trappy kind of thing. It's still good. I will always stand by Nick D. Like, a lot of Nick D songs are hitting different now too. There's music bumping from that studio over there, so it's not copyright. But anyways, Nick D has really been hitting hard lately. Some of his songs are just like, man, that music in general has a different meaning to me now. In most situations, it's interpreted differently based on my emotions and my experience and my thoughts and my everything else. Even on my bad days, there's something going on. But music is really hitting different lately. And with that being said, I've been listening to a lot of metal. And before you give me hate, metal is surprisingly, like, how do you say, surprisingly medicative. I mean, like, it's a good medicine. It's very good for the healing process. I mean, you just get in the car, you turn on some metal, crank it up, and you just like, you let it out. Screamo music is still like up there in terms of like, I'm not a fan. I also don't understand people sing that. It would probably really hurt their voice. But it doesn't. I know it doesn't. I know there's a specific way to do it so it doesn't hurt your voice. But point is, I've been listening to some metal lately, and it's been working. And music in general is very good for me right now. And it's very cool how music works as a language in terms of like it's interpreted a different way based on situation, and it's really cool. It's really cool. And I mean, I've always felt that way about music, but now I'm like really just being encapsulated by it. It's really cool. I just had a thought that I was going to talk about, and I lost it. Give me 1 second to find it.
12 seconds later.
Oh, yes. So, speaking of music, I have started picking up guitar. I've had a guitar for like 2 or 3 years now. I just have not had the time to play it. So I am slowly learning the guitar. I have an electric, I think it's a Yamaha. I have an electric Yamaha 6-string electric guitar, and I'm very excited to start playing it. So we're working at it. We're working at it. It's a cool hobby to pick up, and I've really just discovered the importance of like 10 minutes. Like you pick up a guitar for 10 minutes. Like before I came here, I had 10 minutes, and I was like, I'm gonna play a few. I'm gonna practice some chords, literally just to pick it up. Right? It's so cool. So cool. So yeah, we have been busy. Internship's going well. Job's going well. Everything is feeling good. We're making content. We're making some merch. We're one step away from becoming a business. Yeah, life is good. Life is good. And thank you for being here. Thank you all. I feel like I say it every episode because I need to. I thank you all every episode. But genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it because there was a time, within the past couple of weeks, where I've been like, chicken for breakfast is over. I don't have time for this. I don't want to do it. And then I'm thinking about the support that comes from even just one or two of you. One or two of you listening, one or two of you, being interactive on that Facebook page. One or two of you being interactive on our YouTube channel. 1 like or 2 likes. It seems like such a small goal. It seems like such a small feat. But to me, it shows like it matters. It matters even just to one person. And that's what I said in the very first podcast that I did. This podcast isn't about, okay, how famous am I going to get from this podcast? It's about growing a brand, but most importantly, it's about changing people's lives, changing people's days, changing people's moods. In the very first episode of Chicken for Breakfast, way back in September of 2021, it was, if I make one person smile, if I make one person laugh, if I make one person's life better, even for just a second, I have done my job. And this podcast has been a really cool tool to do that. And it's also helped myself. It's also helping me realize, like, there's a lot here, and I enjoy it. So, thank you for helping me realize that. Thank you for staying involved. Thank you for being here. You really, really, really are important, and you should give yourself a round of applause right now because you are pretty freaking cool. I'm Magic, and I appreciate very much everyone tuning into this episode. Go ahead and share it. Share it with your friend. Share it with your family, your grandma, your grandpa, your creepy uncle, or your not creepy uncle. Share it with somebody. But no, in all honesty, we got to keep up on the content, and I have a reason to, and that's you. So, I'm Magic, and the lighting in this room is really good tonight. I like this lighting setup. a lot. We'll probably revisit this, and I'm also wearing the same shirt I wore in last episode, I'm pretty sure. So, anyways, thank you very much for tuning into this episode of Chicken for Breakfast. Chicken is a soul food, and breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So why not start your day out with something important? It'll make your life a whole lot easier, I promise. But I enjoy chicken for breakfast. I actually did eat chicken for breakfast, and at the end of the day, I hope you enjoy it too.